Okay, so I'll continue to read to you from my notes from this book. Once I'm done chewing. I have some sunflowers in my teeth. 51. The timing of exposure to certain foods and nutrients, or lack of, at critical points of development can profoundly affect the function of organ systems. Example, decreased folate in pregnancy and neural tube defects in offspring. Sulforaphane, found in cruciferous vegetables, influences histone acetylation in colon cancer cells by enhancing genes that inhibit tumor growth. The egg that created you grew inside your mother's ovary while she was in your grandmother's womb. Your grandmother's experience while she was pregnant affected your mother's development as a fetus and affected your health too. 57. Low birth weight or people small during infancy have higher blood pressure and are more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. They have different patterns of blood lipids, reduced bone density, altered stress responses, thicker left ventricular walls, less elastic arteries, and different hormonal profiles. And they are aging more rapidly. 60. The embryo implants itself in the wall of the uterus 8 days after the egg is fertilized. In the early stages of pregnancy, liver, kidney, heart, and lung cells are emerging. Without enough nutrients, the fetus will provide fewer nutrients to kidneys so the brain can have more of what it needs. 61. South Carolina is in the middle of the stroke belt. It's the result of long cycles of poverty, social disruption, chronic stress, and malnutrition. 50% higher stroke rate than average. They also have higher rates of kidney disease and hypertension. Baby in womb also eats mom's stored food from her muscles and bones. 63. Stressors can increase risk of chronic disease without affecting birth weight. Placental growth affects disease risk. Size and shape of placenta linked to increased risk for hypertension, heart failure, lung cancer, weight. Physical characteristics of mothers such as short stature and high BMI are known to increase chronic disease risk in offspring. High birth weight increases vulnerability of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. BRCA1, is that what it is? The gene is linked to breast and ovarian cancer, but 40% of those with this gene won't get the disease. 65. Researchers have discovered close to 50 genetic links to heart disease. 76. When pregnant, a woman's cortisol levels are transmitted to the fetus. These effects are long-lasting and may be passed on to future generations. 77. Folate and B vitamins are necessary for methylation of DNA, which may affect the expression of certain genes related to stress response. Control stress by eating a lot of nutrient-dense whole food breakfast. Coffee increases cortisol levels and other stress hormones. It stimulates acid production in the stomach and can irritate esophagus. Polyphenols in coffee do reduce inflammation, but it makes more sense to consume something high in polyphenols but low in caffeine. Consume protein, fat, fiber at every meal. Tyrosine, an amino acid, creates dopamine. Complex carbs help create serotonin. Tryptophan, amino acid, helps body produce serotonin. Chronic stress alters how your brain receives serotonin and dopamine. 79. Folate deficiency linked to depression. Low zinc levels also associated with depression. Stress burns up our body's magnesium. People with PTSD have lower levels of the enzyme that breaks down cortisol. This adaptation effectively helps to keep cortisol circulating in the body. 82. Low levels of cortisol in the blood of PTSD offspring make them more susceptible to stress, including their ability to survive famine and increased risk of obesity. Women with high cortisol levels have children with compromised organs and exaggerating responses to stress. 84. The higher you are on the socioeconomic ladder, better health. But in Canada, where publicly funded healthcare ensures relatively good access to medical care, Canadians with lower incomes have been shown to be more vulnerable to cardiovascular disease and more likely to die earlier because of it. In the U.S., money diverted from Medicare to providing social support for low SES people has been shown to reduce the incidence of chronic disease more than spending comparable amounts on medical care. 87. Study of French Canadians from an area of Quebec colonized in 1608. Genetic ancestry had less to do with the gene expression changes than inhaled fumes. Women who live near highways while pregnant are more likely to have kids with asthma. Kids age 1 exposed to pollution are likely to have asthma at age 7. 89. Exposing rats to chemicals and common products from pesticides to plastics resulted in ovarian disease not only in their immediate offspring but also in 2 subsequent generations of female descendants. 90. Men's sperm counts have been falling. In parts of the developed world, they have declined by 60% over the past 40 years. Parabens have been associated with DNA damage to male sperm. If present trends continue by 2060, a majority of the men living in Europe and North America might be infertile. 91. Chlorpyrifos is a nerve agent found in Roundup. Chlorpyrifos. And I'm going to say, before I end off here, is that I think she's wrong about this. I don't believe that. I have to look it up, but I don't think she's thinking of Roundup. I think she's thinking of something else, because she talks about this chlorpyrifos linked to brain damage, lower IQ in children, as well as Parkinson's disease and lung cancer in adults. But then she says that Roundup is sprayed, this is a quote, sprayed on large grassy spaces like golf courses. It's not. Roundup is never sprayed on large grassy spaces like golf courses. If it is, the person who did that gets fired.
Because there's no golf course left.
There's no golf course left. Yeah. So she's obviously, she hasn't done her homework somewhere in here. And I'll talk about that later.